thank you for once again tuning in here at Good Tech Academy. I am Adam. Hopefully you are still you. Hopefully you are staying clean, staying healthy, and staying safe. So today we're going to be talking about some words, some terminology, some things that maybe you don't understand when your IT friends start babbling off in that techno babble, or maybe some terms that you may be using incorrectly but not know it. It may surprise you what we're about to learn. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get this thing done. Come on. What would you say if I told you that being online necessarily didn't mean being connected to the internet? Would you be a little bit confused? Yes? No? So the correct definition for being online is whenever a computer or a digital device is connected to another computer or digital device, or to a network that isn't necessarily the internet. Interesting, right? So if your digital device, per chance, is Bluetooth to another digital device, you are online. If your computer is connected to another computer, you are online. Mind twist, if your phone is connected to your computer, you're online. Interesting, right? I know. Since we're on the topic of the internet, did you know that the internet is technically just a global connected network of devices providing a variety of information and communication? The internet may not be just what is on the World Wide Web, but that internet enables my digital device to communicate with somebody else's digital device miles and miles away, whether it's Xbox, cell phone, or even my computer. If I'm using an online connection to a network to communicate across the world or pull down information, I'm using the internet. Do you know what cookies are? And I'm not talking about those delicious little morsels that grandma used to pop out the oven and give to you whenever you were 5 years old. No, I'm talking about the information that is sent between a server and a browser used to identify and track a user's access to that server. So say you go onto the internet and you get online and you use a browser to go to a website. Then once you're there, you enter in some information, you leave behind little cookies or a cookie trail. Then whenever you come back to that website again later, it will have access to that information, so it'll insta-fill you. Cookies are not a bad thing. They help make your browsing experiences faster, better, and just a little bit more easier. Have you ever wondered what a domain name server is? A DNS. Now, a lot of us may not realize it, but we use a DNS every day. In fact, anytime you connect to the internet and you search something on a browser, you are using a DNS. Because that DNS is the system that automatically translates the address, that web address, that www.facebook.com. Whenever we plug that into our web browser, it goes off to that domain name server. That domain name server then figures out what Facebook's address is in a numeric machine address. Because computers don't talk in letters, they talk in numbers. And they have to figure out what those numbers are. So whenever you go online and you type in www.facebook.com and hit enter, it launches a query out to a domain name server. The domain name server takes that and goes, oh, Facebook's number is 12345. It then shoots you down the line to 12345. It's just the same thing as finding the address of a postal code. Plugins. I can plug something in. Can you plug something in? It's very easy to plug something in. You take the cord, you hold it up here. You take the plug, you hold it up here, and you go, connection. In a computer sense of the world, a plugin is a software component that adds a specific feature to an existing computer program. i.e., you go online and you want to achieve an additional feature, such as your Adobe Flash Player being out of date. Sorry, Adobe, you're about to go away, I know, but you're a very good example. Something that needs to be added to your browser to make it work a different way. It's kind of like a software update, sort of. For those of you who live out in the country, like this old boy right here, I live out in the country, and I can tell you right now, I do not have enough bandwidth to get internet. So for those of you who don't know what bandwidth is the transmission capacity of a computer network or other telecommunication system. Bandwidth is basically how much information your network and your infrastructure can handle, transferring the data through it before it just cannot handle anymore. So one bit of information transmitting through a cable that's this big, or putting a marble down a hole this big, you're going to be pretty easy shooting it down there. And then you start trying to put down a golf ball, and then a tennis ball. and then eventually you try to take that football and shove it in that hole, and guess what? It don't work. Okay, next, the cloud. Look, Mommy, up there in the sky. It's a pretty little cloud going by. Look, it looks like a bunny rabbit. We're not talking about those kinds of clouds. What we are talking about is a network of host servers used to store data or a host of group remote virtual computers. So, somewhere way off in Never Land, there is a warehouse full of very large computer systems that stand about yay high. Those computer systems are running mass storage that you can access and save to. It's called cloud saving or cloud sharing. And what it allows you to do is save information into the cloud. We know what the cloud is. It is a server. So whenever you have any kind of device or any kind of application that allows you to do cloud saving or cloud sharing, you are saving in a server that is maintained and upkept by whatever provider you're using. Now there is also a cloud remote virtual computer or a virtual computer system that is saved on a server somewhere. So maybe the computer you're sitting at right now watching this while you're at work, and whenever you know you're not supposed to be watching YouTube videos, may just be a thin client running a virtual computer system that isn't even a real computer. It's something that's being ran off of a server 100 miles away, along with another 30 virtual computers that are on that server. Anytime you hear the term cloud, don't be scared. There are awesome IT people who has two thumbs, and as an IT guy, that are able to work on your information and your saved data and be able to keep it in a server for you. Speaking of virtualization, do you know what virtualization is? I bet you don't. Think of Inception. Virtualization is to create an artificial version of a device or resource such as a computer, server, storage device, network, or even an operating system inside another device or resource. Inception. Why is a virtualization like Inception? Well, if I take my computer and I run a virtualization computer inside of it, I have a computer simulating another computer inside of a computer. Did I lose you? I lost myself. So when you virtualize a computer system, what you're doing is using a computer system to make a virtual computer. Why is this important to know? Because those virtual computers can be used to do a lot of things that you may be worried about doing with your computer. So if you wanted to try testing out a certain operating system, you could use a virtual system to test out that operating system from your computer, which is perfectly safe and not being damaged. So this next one is No, that's what it is. It's error 404. At any point in time, if you've been online, you have probably seen the term error 404. What that is an error message displayed whenever a browser cannot find an internet address. So you get on your computer, you open up your browser, you type www.facebook.com, it launches out the request from the DNS, and it hits the server where Facebook is actually stored and glitches along the way. And then you get this error message. Maybe you typed it in wrong. Maybe you typed in www.facebook.net. It may not mean that your website is down. It just means that there was an error in the coding as it went through and it could not display your web page. Please refresh your browser, try again. Now, the next very important one. I don't want you being scared. Please don't run away. Please don't click away from this video yet. The robots are coming. AI, artificial intelligence. A lot of people are scared about this. But in today's world, we have artificial intelligence in just about so many factors of it that it's not even funny. If you have an iPhone, hey Siri, she's right there. If you have an Android, hey Google, she's right there. Or if you're one of those lucky people who are sitting at home watching this on your internet at home and you have hey Alexa running in your background, then you have an AI in your home. The AI, though, is the theory and development of a computer system able to perform a task that normally requires a human intelligence. A lot of the things that these AIs, such as Siri, Hey Google, and Alexa, are able to accomplish nowadays are low-level tasks that we have allowed them to take over. Now, that doesn't mean that these AIs are going to take over the world, but there are companies out there that are working on artificial intelligence that is smart enough to beat a human in chess, smart enough to outdo us in production. And even Facebook has built an AI that they had to take offline that was supposed to help them help their computer systems talk to one another. And unfortunately, it grew so smart that it developed its own language. It was talking in a language that the people who made the AI could not understand, because the AI figured out that to talk to that program and to talk to that program, there was two different languages. So it created a third language that was a base language that both of them could understand, and it could understand, and it could better manage it. Facebook did get a little scared. They took that offline, and they're still studying it now. This doesn't mean that we're going to lose control. As long as we hopefully maintain the right order and right programming for these AIs, they will help us for many years to come. Hopefully one day I'll get to say hello to Mr. Data from Star Trek. There we were, 10 terms and words and some extra information that hopefully you didn't know, that hopefully now you can take to your friends at a party and be like, hey, did you hear about our AI overlords that are going to error 404 from the domain name server? Okay, yeah, none of that made sense to me either. So hopefully you all are staying safe. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully y'all are still watching these videos. If you are still here, thank you so very much for staying to the end of this video. If you would please do me a favor though, and right down here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell to get my notifications, and I'm gonna keep putting these videos out here. If you really like these videos, leave a comment. Tell me what you wanna see. Tell me if there's a term or a word that you don't know and you don't understand and you would like for me to explain it. I will read the comments and I will respond. Please, thank you. Keep up everything you're doing. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.